A lot of people know this guy from racing in Europe in the MX2. Thomas Covington, 4th overall in the MX2 last year. You had a lot of wins, you had some injuries, but making your debut here in Supercross, Minnesota, but no bike, no press day right now. I know the truck broke down, but you're kind of a seasoned veteran. You're okay with that, right?
Yeah, I mean, I'm a veteran of racing, the last 5 years in Europe, but never been at a Supercross, so it would have been nice to get a little bit of track time, but we'll just go out and send it tomorrow. But definitely a little bit chilly. Feels like I'm back in Belgium, doing motos out at Lommel, but luckily we're inside the stadium here, and should make for a good race.
Now, I know I talked to Bobby Hewitt. He said, yeah, we're going to put Thomas on the East Coast, get him a little bit more seat time before we introduce him into Supercross. How are you? Are you up to speed and you're comfortable with the tracks now?
Yeah, getting there. I think as the season goes on, I just want to progress as much as I can, and not set any big expectations for myself. Just get better each weekend.
And what's the goal? I mean, obviously you want to start with the foundation here after Minnesota and just build, and hey, you want to be there each and every round, correct?
Yeah, exactly. I really just want to get through the season healthy and gain the experience that I need, because just haven't touched the Supercross track before, so just trying to learn as much as I can, and then stay healthy for the outdoor season.
I talked to one of the other rookies, Mitchell Falk, and I asked him, what do you struggle with in Supercross? He says, man, I like it, and he's a kid raised it, but being in Europe for the past 5 years, are you struggling with anything, the whoops, the rhythm lanes or anything, or you're pretty comfortable?
I'm actually pretty comfortable everywhere except the whoops, I'd say. When the whoops get real big and shoot out, it's just something I'm not used to seeing, coming out of the corner and hitting these huge whoops, 4th, 5th gear wide open. So that's something that's taken some time to get used to, but it's getting better every week, and the more I get comfortable with the bike, with the the stiffer setup and everything, the better I get. So I think it's just time that I need, and I think the best practice for me is going to be tomorrow night out here at the race.
Now, this is a question that I had, because I remember you coming to one of my events in Reno and riding an arena cross there, and then all of a sudden you went to Europe. Why was that transition over to Europe and you didn't stay in the States?
Yeah, it definitely wasn't the most common thing for me to do, to go over to GPs, but I was actually just doing the first 3 as it's kind of like a warm-up for the outdoors here in the U.S., and then ended up liking it a lot and did really well at the first 3, and the teams over there were asking me to stay, and I thought, it's a good opportunity, travel around the world and riding my dirt bike. Not something that every 17-year-old kid gets to do, so I took them up on it and ended up taking to it really well. I really enjoyed my time staying over there in Europe and just traveling all over the place. It was fun.
The other good thing, you moving from Europe back to the U.S., at least you're staying with the same manufacturer, Husqvarna.
Yeah, it's really nice to stay with Husqvarna. The 2 teams in Europe and in the U.S. work really closely together with the testing and everything, so it was really nice to continue that relationship and stay on the bike that I've had a lot of success with in Europe.